Hello friends, I am Thomas George, a family nurse practitioner and doctor of nursing practice and obesity expert. And today we are at Backbone Food Farm. We're out in the hills listening to the birds, and with all this fresh produce, today we literally are going to do farm to table. This is the locavore on steroids. We're going to take this freshly produced produce, picked today to the table, Ratatouille style. Ratatouille is a quintessential vegetable stew from the Mediterranean. Think of the rim from Barcelona, Spain, all the way over to Naples, Italy. Along the coast, you'll find some variation of eggplant, zucchini, onions, olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, all in this delicious stew. And the fun thing is it stores well and tastes better the next day. So you can serve this with a crusty bread, with grilled fish, or today, farinata, or in the south of France, soca. This is a bread or a pancake, depending on your preference, that's made out of chickpea flour, 100% gluten-free, good source of fiber and protein, and an interesting take on a legume, a ground garbanzo bean. It's a chickpea. We grind it up into a flour and make it into this delicious bread. Today we'll go through the steps of how to make a ratatouille, but look at this. These phytonutrients are going to go from the field to the table and to your plate, and this is exciting. So stay tuned and we'll show you ratatouille in a nutshell. Whether you call it farinata, the Italian version, or soca, the French version, it's the same thing. Ground chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans, into a flour. In this recipe, to make this farinata, we took 1.5 cups of ground garbanzo bean flour to 2 cups lukewarm water, and we mix that together and let it sit. You can let it sit for up to 12 hours. Overnight is nice. You want to make it to be the consistency a little bit thicker than like heavy cream. And then once it's set up, you add to that about 3 tablespoons of good quality olive oil and about a 1/2 tablespoon of salt. You whisk that all together. In a skillet, what I did was took some olive oil, about a teaspoon or 2, sauteed some onions until they were caramelized, and when this pan was good and hot, I made sure my oven was preheat to 500 degrees. That's right, 500 degrees. We want this hot skillet to take the batter of the chickpea flour. You mix it right in with the onions and put it into a hot oven, and it takes about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And what ends up happening is you get this delicious, looks like a pancake, but look at how that comes right out. You can use this as a bread, you could use this as a pizza base, but it's best served warm. In the streets of South France or in northern Italy, bikes come by and it's served hot, and they're yelling out, hot farinata, hot soca, and sometimes it has fresh rosemary, onions, garlic, just like this. When it's warm, you just cut it into pieces and put it in your mouth. It's delicious, gluten-free, high fiber, and good protein, anywhere from 6 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Take a look at that. Caramelized onions, chickpeas, delicious. This is going to go alongside our ratatouille today. Now for protein, we think that we should have about 3/4 to 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. I know, you have to do math, but why is protein important? It's what helps us build lean muscle mass and preserve it, especially when we're losing weight. Why would we lose weight? Well, as an obesity expert, I'm here to tell you, I'm not here to help you lose weight. Yeah, you heard me. I'm not here to help you lose weight. I'm here to help you fight the underlying causes for you gaining weight. If we address the fundamental causes for why your body's storing extra energy, the weight will happen. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened to me when I only lost 3.4 pounds. Disappointed? Oh, you betcha. Until I looked at my body composition analysis and found out I lost 8 pounds of body fat and gained 2.5 pounds of muscle. But more on that later. Farinata, a delicious Mediterranean treat to go with our ratatouille. Okay, to start our ratatouille, it begins with making a fresh tomato sauce. And by fresh, I mean we are chopping tomatoes, skins, seeds, everything but the stems, and they're going to get sauteed. But first we're going to take some olive oil, onions, garlic, saute those down until they're soft. We'll add the tomatoes and we'll start cooking until the liquid from the tomatoes reduces. We're not going to add any liquid to this except for perhaps a splash of wine, but that's up to you whether you want to do it or not. While we're prepping the tomatoes, I'm also going to prep some of these small heirloom cherries, and we're going to make a Caprese salad. Caprese means the Isle of Capri, and that's an island off of Italy. And this is a classic salad of tomatoes, fresh mozzarella cheese, some basil, and a good quality olive oil and balsamic vinegar. So I will prep all those up and show you what it looks like, but this is simple, delightful summer food. I don't know how to speak French, but they have a word for the joy of living, and they also have the art of living. And in the Mediterranean circle that we've talked about, the art of living means eating fresh, eating local, eating when in season. Ratatouille is this quintessential dish that's based on a tomato sauce and stewing these vegetables like zucchini, peppers, and the eggplant. As it all comes together, the first tasting is fresh and vibrant, and the next day it's luxuriant as all the flavors permeate. I like to make this in a big batch so that I can freeze some, so on a cold winter night I can pull it out and be reminded of summer. Let's get started.